let me tell you something. This is the third time I'm starting this video. I mean, do I even do it at this point? The first time, the computer just shut down. The second time, my mic wasn't working. Anyways, what is up, everybody? Coffee break here with another video. And we were actually interrupted while I was talking about Brandon Aiyuk. Brandon Aiyuk, you're going to get like this fast forwarded version too, because I was just like going in. But third time. It's the third time I'm doing this. Can you blame me at this point? Brandon Aiyuk is in Kyle's doghouse. And we don't know why. It doesn't make sense. Why doesn't it make sense? Well, number one, outside of maybe a couple drops in preseason, I mean, where is he lacking of next step? Because John Lynch in a KNBR interview says, well, he needs to take the next step. What does that even mean, right? And how can you? It's like the same situation with Trey Lance. How can someone take a next step if they're not getting reps? Sitting on the bench or not getting the football isn't going to help you. It's not going to help anybody. It's not helping our offense, that's for sure. So where exactly does he need to take the next step? Is it maturity? Is it, things off the field that we, hasn't hit the light yet? What is going on? And I'm not here to figure it out. I just feel like the 49ers aren't keeping that same energy with other players, i.e. Mike McGlinchey. Mike McGlinchey, fourth-year player, and still is inconsistent. Bigger bust right now. No, it's not. I'm not even going to go there. I was like, bigger bust than Solomon Thomas, but nah, it ain't. But it's in that same vicinity, though, because, we got Solomon Thomas, what was it, second, third overall? And then here comes McGlinchey a year later. Yeah, it was a year later, and we got him ninth overall. So it wasn't any better. He was still a top 10 pick, and he's not playing like one at all. So there's definitely something to be said there, number one. Mike McGlinchey's not playing great, as whatever Shanahan tells you. Like, I thought offensive line played well. Oh, they did this, they did that. Nah, bruh. We ain't that stupid. I mean, we may not know football as much as you do, but we ain't that dumb either. So that's number one. We're not keeping the same energy with other players. Why can't we hold back McGlinchey and say, hey, you're not going to start because we're waiting for you to take the next step? Where does it end? Right? How far do you trickle down? Are you just doing this to first rounders? Are you doing this to backups? This is where it gets inconsistent. Just like your team. The message you're sending out is inconsistent, which is how your team is playing. Inconsistent. So that's kind of a reflection of what's going on with the 49ers. And something's not adding up. Maybe we'll figure something out, or we'll find something out maybe after the season. But, there's a lot of things where the 49ers have probably made the wrong move, and it's come back and backfired. Kind of leads me to this story. Let me just pull it up here. So Vish on Twitter. So he wrote a lot of interesting information on the 49ers provided here by Seth Wickersham, including a tidbit we've never gotten. So this is a guy, I mean he has a book out about Tom Brady. But in that book, I guess he writes about how Tom Brady wanted to come to San Francisco, end his career here. And we obviously rejected him. So this is, I'm guessing from his book. The conversations didn't stay quiet for long. Reporters wondered if Garoppolo was on his way out. The 49ers coaching staff had quite doubts about Garoppolo even before the Super Bowl. Even before the Super Bowl, coaches had doubts. Okay. Feeling that it took an inordinate amount of energy to get his head ready for game day. It's kind of interesting. Does he not pick up information quickly? I mean, kind of see that on the field, right? Can't go through his progressions quickly. And that he perhaps lacked Brady's extreme drive for excellence. In the playoffs, Shanahan had called plays like a coach with limited faith in his quarterback. We saw that in the NFC Championship game. We saw that against the Vikings in the divisional round. Okay. Leaning heavily on the running game, some in the building felt that Shanahan was too hard on Garoppolo, causing him to play tentatively. We have heard the same sentiment, you know, Shanahan being hard on Garoppolo and now Brandon Aiyuk. You see how like he treats other players different? It's weird. Maybe it's just because they're the core player. We know that they're not gonna get moved anywhere at that point in time, right? At this point in time that we know of, we don't think Brandon Aiyuk is getting moved. But if this continues throughout the year, fans are gonna be like, all right, well, Brandon Aiyuk is gone next year. We're gonna trade him. That's all I can really think about. But okay, let's keep reading. The coaches liked Garoppolo personally, and so did his teammates, enough to elect him captain, but Shanahan was open to the idea of an upgrade. So this isn't a Shanahan thing then. I think people... So this is my thing. From what I get here is that Shanahan was ready to move on. Somebody vetoed him, maybe John Lynch, and said, hey, he is the captain of this team. He's the leader, and it's kind of hard to ruffle the feathers right now, especially coming off of the Super Bowl. But Shanahan's ready to pull that trigger, at least from what I'm reading here. I'm pretty sure that if Aaron Rodgers was really available, the 49ers would have Aaron Rodgers right now, not Trey Lance. But, okay. But then, almost as fast as the 49ers' interest in Brady rose, it died. The coaches liked Brady's film, but didn't love it. I mean, let's be honest. Brady's 2019 film, he could probably he could dump that film. And it wasn't all because of him. I mean, he did look old. He did play old. But it was a combination of things. Like, it was going into his last year. He didn't have any receivers. That Pats team wasn't great. So, yeah, it looked pretty bad. He was better than Garoppolo, they thought, but not that much better. So at least they acknowledge, whoever they are maybe front office, right? We're talking about Adam Peters and John Lynch and maybe Kyle Shanahan and the the assistant coaches. But specifically who they are, we don't know. Not so much that it was worth trading away a locker room leader, not to mention one who was nearly 15 years younger and coming off a Super Bowl appearance. A few days before free agency began, the 49ers decided to stick with their guy. This time, Garoppolo won. Not sure what that Garoppolo one means. But it's clear after that, the 49ers have been downhill ever since that Super Bowl 2019. And that's what we're trying to recap here. So now they have Trey Lance, but the Trey Lance situation as well it's weird because, you know, on one hand Shanahan's like, well, if Garoppolo's ready, he's gonna be in, which doesn't do it's a disservice to Trey Lance. Why is it a disservice? Because at this point, we're at a tipping point. Are we really 100% certain that Garoppolo can really take us to the playoffs? No. I am not confident in that. I don't know how everyone else feels. I'm sure there's a lot of people like, yeah, Garoppolo can take us. Well, he hasn't played like that. He hasn't played like that since, I mean, you could go back week 17 of 2019. I mean, when was the last good game he had? Last year, he didn't play great, and then he got hurt. Then we have... I didn't even rewatch the Super Bowl, bro. But that's, I mean, when we clinched the NFC West against Seattle, in Seattle, I thought he played well there. That's kind of my last great memory with Jimmy Garoppolo. So there's that. There is that. And this team isn't all vibing right now. We have that situation. And honestly, depending on how the next, I want to say the next 2 games go for the Niners, it's either going to be like, oh, we got momentum, here we go, or yeah, let's just focus on 2022. It could happen that quick. And I know we have 12 games left, but the first 5 games we didn't play great. I know they say like, oh, we could have won every game, like we could have been easily 5-0. Well, let me tell you something. We could have been easily 0-5. That's how quick the script can turn. So don't even focus on we could have been. Focus on what we are. We're a 2-3 team. We've lost 3 in a row. Our starting quarterback is hurt. And maybe now our backup, right? Because Trey Lance got hurt somewhere in that game. But I was actually seeing a video. That may not be
I didn't order
as
a
true
pizza.
as we think.
I know.
That actually may be something just to get Trey Lance in that building. And I'm going to actually put in a Grant Cohn video in my video because they had an interesting conversation. Actually, let's go here. All right, let's listen.
The Trey Lance injury is good news in a sense. There's a silver lining here. Lay it out.
Yeah. So first of all, I don't know if I buy the full on injury, but here's what I will say is it's good in the stand. What's up, Nick? Nick's a good guy, by the way.
So Jesse, I think he also has a YouTube channel, is making here a point that the 49ers may have listed Trey Lance in an injury report to have him come into the building to rehab. Kind of a loophole they're pulling.
Make sure you
Yeah.
subscribe to his
If
channel.
it's
Nothing
true,
but
to me,
Niners.
this would
But
be
anyways,
smart.
so here's the deal with Trey Lance. If he is injured, that means during a bye week, this is a loophole, that during the bye week, you actually can stay at the team facility.
Now, one thing I didn't know is that players can't, like, if they're not hurt, they can't come into the building. I didn't know that. So it would make perfect sense. No one, reported it. No one mentioned it. It came the day after when they're like, hey, Trey Lance had a knee injury. No one can figure out where. He didn't show any, like, symptoms or any limp during the game. And they were like, he's out for 1 to 2 weeks. So they put a timetable out there pretty quickly, too. And the way 49ers roll is like, we're going to wait and see. And then they'll wait until, like, the end of the week. And then they're like, oh, yeah, he it's going to be, like, 1 or 2 weeks. But they were like, hey, he's hurt. And by the way, it's 1 and 2 weeks. Guess what happens in 2 weeks? The 49ers play. So it's not out of the question. I'm not saying he's not hurt. All I'm saying is it's probably not as bad as we think. He probably is hurt, but there's probably some upside as why they put him in the report. Maybe on a normal week, they wouldn't. Like if the Niners were going to play this week, I don't think they would put him on the report. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'll say.
Which means you can work out and be around the coaches and all those things, and it's legal to do so. Otherwise, you have to be away from everything at the team facility during the bye week. So
that's kind of all I wanted Jesse to say there from Grant Cohn video. So I mean, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that that's the case. I hope that he's not actually hurt because, number one, how much that freaking sucks. We have no quarterback now. And then number two, his development is now postponed for 2 weeks. So just for my sanity, I'm going to just pretend that that's what it is. They're preparing him for the Colts game. So there's that. Let's talk about some games. Games start in 10 minutes as I'm recording this. As I'm recording this, the Dolphins and the Jaguars are tied. Oh, Dolphins and Jaguars tied. Then we have the Packers, Bears. Then we have the Chargers, Ravens. So I think the Packers beat the Bears. Ravens, Chargers is going to be a good game. I want to say, I don't know, I love what the Chargers are bringing, man. I kind of dig it. Bring this shit over here. I kind of dig it, man. We'll do this. They play at Baltimore, so it's gonna be a good game. I'll go. Let's go Chargers. Freak it. All right, Chiefs against the Washington football team. Chiefs. They have to win that one, right? The Rams against the Giants. I think the Rams win. Texans at Colts. The Colts are 1-4. If they don't beat the Texans, bro. If they don't beat the Texans, and then if the Niners don't beat them, I'm going to be hot. Bengals at the Lions. I want to say Lions. They're 0-5. They're due. Vikings at Panthers. Without Christian McCaffrey, I mean, the Panthers are still really good. But Let's take the underdog. Let's go Minnesota. Minnesota. Cardinals at the Browns. I have to go Browns. I have to go Browns. Without their head coach, without Chandler Jones, I mean, who's gonna bring some pressure to this really impressive Browns team? I'm really impressed with this Browns team. I think they're really solid, and if they could put the pieces together, they can make a run in the playoffs. That's for sure. Raiders at Broncos. I mean, with everything that's happened with the Raiders right now, they're pretty much distracted. But do they come out with a lot of energy? Yes. Do they win? Probably not. Denver. Cowboys at the Patriots. New England? Dare I say New England? Probably not, but Cowboys win. Seahawks at the Steelers. A bum ass Sunday night football game. No Russell Wilson. Steelers 2-3. Not playing well. A lot of 2-3 teams. But Steelers win. And then Monday, Bills at Titans. Bills. All right, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and as always, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.